ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So I am reading from this page number 17. When Sanatana Goswami asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the Swarupa of every living being, the Lord replied that the Swarupa or constitutional position of the living being is the rendering of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we analyze this statement of Lord Chaitanya's, we can easily see that every living being is constantly engaged in rendering service to another living being. A living being serves other living beings in various capacities. By doing so, the living entity enjoys life. The lower animals serve human beings as servants, serve their master. A serves B master, B serves C master, and C serves D master, and so on. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend. One mother serves the son, the wife serves the husband serves the wife, and so on. If we go on searching in this spirit, it will be seen that there is no exception in the society of living beings to the activity of service. The politician presents his manifesto for the public to convince them of his capacity for service. The voters therefore give the politician their valuable votes, thinking that he will render valuable service to society. The shopkeeper serves the customer, and the artisan serves the capitalist. The capitalist serves the family, and the family serves the state in terms of an eternal capacity of the eternal living being. In this way, we can see that no living being is exempt from rendering service to other living beings. And therefore, we can safely conclude that service is the constant companion of the living being, and that the rendering of service is the eternal religion of the living being. Yet, man professes to belong to a particular type of faith with reference to particular time and circumstances, and thus claims to be a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, or an adherent of any other sect. Such designations are non-Sanatana Dharma. A Hindu may change his faith to become a Muslim, or a Muslim may change his faith to become a Hindu, or a Christian may change his faith, and so on. But in all circumstances, the change of religious faith does not affect the eternal occupation of rendering service to others. The Hindu, Muslim, or Christian in all circumstances is a servant of someone. Thus, to profess a particular type of faith is not to profess one Sanatana Dharma. The rendering of service is Sanatana Dharma. Factually, we are related to the Supreme Lord in service. The Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer, and we living entities are his servitors. We are created for his enjoyment, and if we participate in that eternal enjoyment with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we become happy. We cannot become happy otherwise. It is not possible to be happy independently, just as no part of the body can be happy without cooperating with the stomach. It is not possible for the living entity to be happy without rendering transcendental loving service unto the Supreme Lord. So we'll chant Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsa Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratpise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So these are very nice paragraphs Srila Prabhupada, spoke. So can somebody tell what is the summary of these three paragraphs in one word? What is the most important word? Service. Yeah, Jiver Swarup hai Krishnera Nityadas Prabhuji said. Service. Service or servant. So we are all trying to, becoming this servant. As it said, Gopi Bhatru Padakamalayur Das Dasana Das. Okay. So, but, so, like I give this example also, as Prabhupada is mentioned here, that we see like the Prime Minister, he goes and tells, I am the servant of 100 crore Indians. But that is not exactly, he meant, okay. So he may say that I am a servant, as a Prime Minister, I want to serve the entire country, but in reality, he is not. So what exactly a service is? Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nityadas. So we can see here, I was just thinking to read this conversation between Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, as all of you know, that Sanatana Goswami was the Prime Minister in the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah. So, with the permission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so like Rupa Goswami escapes from the kingdom. So then Sanatana Goswami also wants to leave. But Nawab Hussain Shah, will not permit Sanatana Goswami to leave. Then when Sanatana Goswami refuses to, do his duties, he sits in with his other Brahmanas, and he always was reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So when king came to know that Sanatana Goswami is not doing his duties, so he will put him in prison. So when he was put into the prison, then Rupa Goswami sends a message to Sanatana Goswami that Lord Chaitanya told now you can come back, you can come to meet him. So Sanatana Goswami bribes the jailer who has put him in the prison, and then he escapes. It's a very nice pastime. So when he escapes, so finally, then he takes one of his servant, Shrikant. So he tries to travel into the because this Sanatana Goswami, we can see यद्यद् आचरति श्रेष्ठा तत्तत् एव तरो जनाः सयत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्थम् अनुवर्तते. So whatever examples Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they have said, they are all very much instructive to all of us. So we can learn so many lessons, because see, here we can see how Sanatana Goswami is such an exalted personality, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made him an instrument to teach so many lessons to all of us. So we can see, I'll just tell few, 2-3 things. So when Sanatana Goswami started, after bribing, he takes this Shrikant and he starts to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Varanasi, Benares, in the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya. So while coming on the way, they have to pass through rivers, hills, and without the knowledge of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Shrikant keeps some gold coins. Okay? And because he thought that we should carry, because we are going on traveling, so we may require, some for some expenses, he keeps some gold coins. So when they are coming, and they try to stay in one place, one landlord was there, he tries to give them shelter. So he is a very wicked person. So he has one astrologer with him. So this astrologer, when he comes to knows if other person what they are carrying. If they have any valuable things, this astrologer will inform this landlord, and then landlord kills them in the overnight, and he takes away those valuable things. And the moment he came to know so this landlord welcomed them, very respectfully, with great smile. So Sanatana Goswami got doubt, because he's a minister. He knows, he read so many, so many scriptures. He was a prime minister. So he knows that there is something wrong, because we don't have any relation with this person, but still this person is welcoming us. So, and when when Sanatana Goswami goes and asks Shrikant, do you have any valuable things? So he tells that, yes, I am carrying 7 gold coins, he tells. He doesn't say 8 gold coins. So then, see, this, when you are carrying these gold coins, this will put us in danger. So please give. So Shrikant gives the 7 gold coins to him. And immediately Sanatana Goswami goes and gives to, please help me to cross this, this hill. I am giving you 7 gold coins. So that landlord become very pleased. He tells that, I was just thinking to kill you tonight and take away these things. Okay, but you have submitted. So, but I am very pleased with you. So I don't need your gold coins, but I will help you. But Sanatana Goswami tells that if you don't take these 7 gold coins, then somebody else will kill me. So better you take these things and you help me. So then this landlord will help Sanatana Goswami to cross, that part of the place. So, and when Sanatana Goswami realizes that Shrikant did not speak the truth to Sanatana Goswami, because he's still having 1 gold coin, then Sanatana Goswami tells that, no, you have still attachment for this, possessions, so you should not travel with me. So he will send him back. So then Sanatana Goswami comes to Hajipur, where his brother-in-law is there, then there he meets him. Then from there, again he tells, his brother-in-law tells him that you please stay here, we will arrange, because he is traveling since many days. So he has, his body has became very dirty. He's wearing torn clothes, and he has hair over entire his head, not shaven. So his brother-in-law tells him to stay. So he says, no, 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 I don't want to stay. So he helps him to, Sanatana Goswami to reach Varanasi. So we'll just read few verses, which is very, very nice verses there. Sanatana Goswami, discussion between Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is in the Madhya Lila, chapter 20. So when Sanatana Goswami comes there, we see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, cares for his devotees. So Sanatana Goswami comes to the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, who was where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying. So he just stands outside his house, and so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understands that Sanatana Goswami is there. He tells Sanatana Goswami, Chandrasekhar Acharya, please go and call. There is a one devotee outside who is standing. So, and Chandrasekhar Acharya goes and he sees that there is nobody is there. Only one Muslim is standing there. Okay. So he goes and tells there is nobody. One Muslim, with a beard, he is standing there. Okay, go and call him. He is only devotee. So when he comes inside, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraces him, he welcomes him, and he tells that Krishna has saved you, from a greatest danger, because he was in the kingdom of Nawab Hussain Shah. Now he is relieved. Now he came under the shelter of, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time, Sanatana Goswami tells, I don't know who is Krishna, but only you have saved me. So he glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the verse. Sanatana hai, Krishna ami nahi jani, amara uddara hetu, tomara krupamani. So I do not know who is Krishna. As far as I am concerned, I have been released from the prison only by your mercy. So after, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami, Tapan Mishra, who is the father of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Okay. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's father, Tapan Mishra, he was also staying in Varanasi. So he takes care of Sanatana Goswami. Then for a long time he stays there. Then this conversation, which is a very, some lessons we'll just discuss. तबे सनातन प्रभुर चरण धरिया धन्य विनति करे दंते तृणलना. Putting a straw in his mouth and bowing down, Sanatana Goswami clasped the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and humbly spoke as follows. So this is the way when Rupa Goswami also went to, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Goratvise Namaha. So this is the verse Rupa Goswami composed when he is approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this tradition that one should go in a very humble state. It said Dante Trunakari. So and Sanatana Goswami submitting himself, even though he's a great devotee, how he's submitting to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We can all, at least, I don't know whether I can practice it or not, but at least we should develop this consciousness and attitude. Nicha jati nicha sangi patita dhama kuvaishya kupe padi gonainu janama. When Sanatana Goswami said, I was born in a low family and my associates are of all low class men. I myself am fallen and I am the lowest of men. Indeed, I have passed my whole life fallen in the well of sinful materialism. Apanara hata hite kichu na jani gramya vyavahare pandita tai satyamani. I do not know what is beneficial for me, nor what is detrimental. Nonetheless, in ordinary dealings, people consider me a learned scholar, and I am also thinking of myself as such. कृपाकारी आदि मोरा करी आचे उद्धारा अपनारा कृपते कथा कर्तव्य amara. Out of your causeless mercy, you have delivered me from the materialistic path. Now, by the same causeless mercy, please tell me what my duty is. So, this is what Prabhupada is trying to mention this here. You know, ke ami, ke ne amaya jare tapatraya, iha nahi jani, ke me na hitahaya. Who am I? Why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? So this is the question, you know. Kyami jare tapatraya. So why am I suffering? Because of the threefold miseries of material nature. So what are the threefold miseries? The miseries arised, adhyatmika. The miseries arise due to one's own mind. Adi dhaivika, the miseries arise due to, the demigods. And Adi bhautika, the miseries arise due to other living entities. So, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answers, प्रभु कहे कृष्ण कृपा तुम्हारा पूर्ण हया सब तत्व जानी तुम्हारा नाहि तापत्रया. See here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before telling the answer, he is appreciating and the mood of Sanatana Goswami. He said, Lord Krishna has bestowed his full mercy upon you so that all these things are known to you already. For you the threefold miseries certainly do not exist. Okay? And Krishna Sakti Dhara Tumi Jara Tattva Bhava Jani Dhairya Lagi Puche Sadhura Swabhava. Since you possess Lord Krishna's potency, you certainly know these things. Because he knows Sanatana Goswami, he is very expert. He read all the Shastras. He knows so many languages. He is very good with Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic, so many languages he knows. Like, obviously Bengali, he was staying there. So, but although you know these things, but the sadhu inquires for the sake of strictness. So, we should also, when we go to spiritual master, when we go to senior devotees, we should have this attitude that I don't know anything. With that attitude, we should try to listen from the sages. If I know, if I have this habit that I know everything, then we will not be able to listen first of all, and we will not know the intricacies of Shastra. So here, this from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is mentioned. Those who are eager to awaken their spiritual consciousness and who thus have unflinching, undeviated intelligence certainly attain the desired goal of life very soon. You are fit to propagate the cult of devotional service. Therefore, gradually hear all the truth about from me. I shall tell you about them. So we can see this, this attitude, similar attitude, similar surrender from the life of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is considered to be a great scholar. He has given the title Siddhanta, and Saraswati. So this is some title given to him because of his vast knowledge and expertise in astrology and mathematics. But when Bhakti Vinod Thakur told him, you should go and become a disciple of Gaura Kishore Das Babaji. Gaura Kishore Das Babaji is such an exalted personality, but outward terms he is considered to be illiterate. He does not know. So when Bhakti Vinod Thakur tells him, he goes and he approaches in the same mood and develops and Bhakti and Gaura Kishore Das Babaji tests him whether he is really sincere. And when he sees that, he is sincere and he bestows his mercy. So we have to develop this habit of surrendering actually through when we go to in front of a spiritual master. Very, very important. Okay, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling this shloka. Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa Krishnera Tatastha Shakti Bheda Veda Prakasha Suryamsha Kirana Eche Agni Jvala Chaya Swabhaivika Krishnera Tina Prakara Shakti Haya. So it is a living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna because he is the marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord. Like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire, Krishna has three varieties of energy. So I'll just, so here Sanatana Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who am I? And the Lord replied, you are a pure living entity. You are neither the gross material body nor the subtle body composed of mind and intelligence. Actually, you are the spirit soul, eternally part and parcel of the Supreme Soul Krishna. And therefore, you are his eternal servant. So Prabhupada writes, very nice purport here, how everybody is a servant. We are neither a man, woman, Indian, American, we are Hindu, Muslim, Christian. No, we are a eternal servant of Krishna. This is called Sanatana Dharma. So Prabhupada explains also in the many lectures in the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually first canto. So he gives this example that what is the nature of a sugar? To be sweet, okay, and what is the nature of a like water? To flow. So these two examples Prabhupada gives. So similarly, the nature of any person, like or any living entity. So it could be a tree, it could be an ant, it could be an animal, it could be a human being, is to serve. Okay, anybody. So, and the society is, the creation is created in that way. The Lord created. Like for example, if somebody, if I see some tree is there, why it is in that body? Because of its sinful activities. Like if I am having this body, this is a representative that I am sinful, I am having this body. Okay. So, like anybody in this world, we don't ask if we go to a jail. No, we don't ask, oh, you have done some sinful activity, that is the reason you are in jail. There is no need to ask. In the same way, I have taken birth in this world means that I am sinful. Okay? And now there are different kinds of birth, there are different living entities. Now if I see a tree is there, that means it has a body of a tree, means it is a punishment. Because the tree cannot move, it has to either, scorching heat is there, and rain is there, cold is there, it has to be there only. But then how a tree progresses? But a tree is serving. If a tree is giving flowers, if you are taking those flowers, and if that flowers are taken for somebody who has, for his enjoyment, then the tree is serving him. But the same flowers, if I take to and make a garland offer to Krishna, then the tree is serving Krishna. Okay? So, in the same way, fruits. But if you see, there are some trees which neither give any fruits, neither flowers. So, that is more sinful. Even in the trees also, we see variegatedness. So, like the way in human beings, we see so much variegatedness. There are some people who has godly qualities they serve, and there are some people who they don't have any qualities, they don't do any service, they can't do any good service, I'm saying. Okay, so in the same way, in all the living entities, either you take aquatics, birds, plants, any living entities, this variegatedness is there. And why? Everybody is there to serve. Okay. But even some living entity who is in the body of a tree, which is not useful, they also can be delivered. How? If I go, if we all, devotees, when they go in Sankirtan, when they go and chant holy names, okay, when these trees hear, when those sound touches the trees, so they can be purified. Okay, so this is the speciality of the Krishna consciousness, that it will benefit any living entity. It could be an ant is there, a mouse is there, a bird is there. Everybody will make a progress when they touch, when they come in contact with devotees and like under transcendental vibration of the holy name of the Lord. So now, when here Prabhupada is saying that like one has to serve. Everybody, if Prabhupada gives this nice example, he challenges many people, in the West what happens, that there are many poor people. So what they do, there are some atheists who are communists. So they don't believe in the existence of God. So they do what? They pack in a truck bread, and they go and park outside the church. And there will be many people who are simple people, simple-hearted people. So they go to church and they go and pray to the Christ. Oh, oh Jesus, please give us bread. Please take care of us. They submit their wishes. And when they come outside, so these people are standing outside and they tell, so you went and asked your Jesus, did he give bread? So now you ask us. Okay? So then when they ask, they give bread. See, we are giving bread. Then Prabhupada questions him. So from where? Is he getting this stock of bread from his father's account? No, this bread is also supplied by the God. Okay? So he has stole from the God and he's claiming that this belongs to him and he is giving it. So because this communist person also wants to serve only, but he doesn't want to serve as a servant of the God. He wants to serve as thinking that I am the master. So if we have this mentality that I am the master, so that will never make us progress. Actually, that will never make us close to Krishna. And as it is said, and we can see, we have a relationship. The society is divided into four kinds of four divisions. We all know: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So Prabhupada, puts them in English very nicely: intellectuals, warriors, businessmen, and servants. This special quality of being a servant is common to all the four groups. A Brahmana is there, he also has to serve. You see, there are some Brahmanas, they don't take any help of Shudras. They do their cooking, cleaning, and taking care of cows, all those things, And you see Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, there are this quality of being a servant is common to all the four varnas. It is not that only a Shudra has to serve. No, others don't need to serve. No. All the four varnas, they all should have this nature of servitude. To whom they do, it's different. Like you see a Brahmana, when we go to temple, so he is the one who is doing, all the services. He is doing cooking, cleaning, decorating the Lord, taking care, all the things. So this habit of servitude, we have to develop. Now, So, and see, one more thing which I would like to bring this point is that you see, we are all indebted to so many people. Like for example, I am taking my meal. That means I am indebted to so many people. Somebody is sowing the seed, and somebody is providing water, somebody is taking care, somebody is cutting the grains, somebody is refining them, and somebody is packing and coming, then somebody is cooking, then offering, then I am taking. But if it is not offered, for example, I am indebted to so many these people. How many people are there? All these people I am indebted. So, and I can't serve. Like you see, there are so many sages. If we are peaceful here, means there are so many sages who are praying. To them also I am indebted. We can see in the starting of Srimad Bhagavatam how sages of Naimisharanya are very concerned. They are thinking Kali Yuga coming. So, how human beings will be benefited. They are thinking about it. So like that, there are so many people who are well-wishers of us. They are thinking about us. And we are all indebted to them. How we can be free from the indebted is only by taking shelter of Keshava. When we serve Krishna, then we can be free from we are paying our it could be parents also. We are indebted to our parents. We are indebted to our grandparents. We are indebted to our so many relatives, friends. All these things we can simultaneously serve only by doing our devotional service properly. So this example is there. One more example which Prabhupada mentions. We cannot become happy otherwise. It is not possible to be happy independently. Just as no one part of the body can be happy without cooperation with the stomach. So this is the example given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yatha taror moola niseshanena truptyanti tatskanda bhujopashaka pranapaharar chetendriyanam sarvarhma achyutecha. So this is the last line. I am just making incomplete. So how a tree can be nourished by watering at the root. How a person can be nourished by supplying food to the pranapahara or chetendriyanam. Like when the food reaches to the stomach, then all the other limbs, senses of the body are active. If I try to satisfy eyes, hands, legs separately, independently, it is not possible. So similarly, only by submission to Krishna, we can become happy. So I still remember, when we are properly engaged in, service, we can forget everything else. It will not become, when we are really engaged in our service, it will never become, we don't have this feeling that it's a burden. Actually, in 2004, I think in 2005, I still remember this very nice experience that the first time I attended this Jagannath Radhayatra in Hyderabad. So I was studying there. So in 2005, so before like 4 or 5 months, I used to go to temple every Sunday and attend the Sunday feast class, then take prasadam, then attend some Bhakti Vriksha class and used to come back. So then they told that we are having Jagannath Radhayatra. Would you like to do any service? So I said, okay, I can do some service. But they told that you should come in dhoti kurta. So then I purchased dhoti kurta. First time I wore dhoti kurta. And I went like around morning 11 o'clock. So then they engaged me in packing, sweet boxes for the donors, for the devotees. So I was packing prasadam. Then after packing, then they arranged a tractor. We have to load into that, and then big vessels of khichdi, other prasadam was cooked. So we have put them into that. I have never I don't remember I have gone to the Jagannath Rath Yatra before that year. So then, like after one service, after another service, so something is coming. Okay, then we were taken to a big pandal because I was involved in services. I was not part of Rath Yatra also. Okay, so and before the Radha reaches, we have reached that place and we have unloaded the thing. I was part of one group where prasadam is being served. So very grand celebration. Okay, so like that, after one after another, then then there was a class, kirtan, then prasadam serving was there, everything is over. So then we have come back to temple. So by the time, I realized the time, it's night 2 o'clock. Okay, so I think morning 11, 12 o'clock I went and night 2 o'clock. So I still feel that very good experience of that, how we can be engaged in proper service. And we don't feel, when properly engaged, we don't feel that, the night 2 o'clock, everything is finished, then I just went to my room. So, and when I came here, I used to remember how the devotees, Srila Prabhupada used to engage. We are seeing so many Srila Prabhupada books here. So these books are brought with so much dedication, by the devotees. So especially this Giriraj Maharaj and also I'm forgetting that Maharaj who shares how Prabhupada was translating Chaitanya Charitamrita, how devotees, they were having service 24/7, So there is a group of devotees who they only do, chanting 16 rounds and they are fully engaged. And when somebody cooks prasadam for them and they come, they take prasadam and they are, continuously. There will be a team who are hearing the Prabhupada's recordings and translating. There is a team who is proofreading. There is a team who is making, paintings. And there is a team who is doing, layout, So there will be 24/7, the devotees are working. Like there will be shifts. It will never stop, after 8 hours, 10 hours, there is another group who comes, who is doing the things. So the most important, I was just thinking that when we stay especially in the dham, that to have, properly engaged in the service so that we make advancement in our devotional service. Okay. And I still remember this, how Prabhupada, when devotees used to come here, he never permits the devotees, to go on like touring here and there. They are all very focused. A few days back, Jagat Tharini Mataji was sharing, in one of the lectures, who was Bhurijan Prabhu's wife, Prabhupada disciple. She was sharing this thing that in 1972 or something, like when 72 or 74, when first time she came to India, Prabhupada invited them, all of them, to Vrindavan, Mayapur, for Gaur Purnima festival. After that, they came to Vrindavan. So then she liked very much Vrindavan, this natural place, thing. So she wants to stay back. So Prabhupada said that, okay, so you all like Vrindavan? So yes, Prabhupada. Okay, so if you want, then Prabhupada said that, she said, so you all can stay here. So Prabhupada just, joked. So she said, no, but just now you told that we have to go back to our services. So they were very much conscious that they have, a service assigned by spiritual master. And so that is the connection, that is what they are naturally situated in that Sanatana Dharma. So when we are naturally situated in our eternal occupation, which is service to the Guru and Krishna, then it becomes easy for us to progress in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so I'll stop here. Any questions, comments? Can add? Yes, Prabhuji.
So you were giving the example that whatever is that first we should offer to the Lord. Everything we should offer to the Lord. We see that all the food grace Lord is saying is the seed giving Father. So whatever the Lord is giving us, and same thing we are offering to Him. So can you tell me what is the difference between that?
So your question, Prabhuji, is that is anyway belongs to the Lord. So why you are offering? Is it what is your question?
Why offering? What is the difference between the Lord is giving? Lord is the seed giving Father. Whatever grains, food He is giving us, and same thing we are offering to Him. So what is that difference? I am asking.
So the same thing when we are offering, that is love. It's not that grain which we are offering, Prabhuji, not the ingredient. What we are offering is love. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayaschati tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatmanah. So Lord wants our love. So that love is offered through a medium. Just. It is not that ingredient what we are offering. Somebody may offer a flower, somebody may offer a full bangla. Like, maybe lakhs of, rupees of flowers. But with how he is offering, is he offering with love or is he offering with, the, what do you say, the pomp, with so much prestige. That matters. So Lord wants our love. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Nice class.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I want to have a clarification from you to seek a solution from you. It's narrated with relation to Mahabharata episode which is going on. Suppose you are being asked. Suppose somebody is asking, seeking from you help. Please give me mercy, means like please help me for some instance. For example, in Mahabharata Yuddha, Mama Shakuni, he asked for help at the last minute when he was about to be killed. He was told, I am your mama, you please don't kill me. And for example, in the Dyut Krida, when he had lost everything, Yudhishthira had lost everything. But then Dhritarashtra was there at a point, he told, pack up everything, give that thing back to Yudhishthira, everything is yours, please go, and they left also. But then again, because of the son's attachment and the blind faith which he had with the Duryodhan, he got somewhere dwindled and again the Dyut Krida started. So Prabhu, I want to ask, somebody comes for you for seeking for help from you, and you have been cheated many times from that. What should you do?
So, Mataji, it's a very personal question. But one thing which one devotee shared today, it's from, I think, 9th canto, that if you are a Brahmana, you should forgive.
If we are a Brahmana.
If one person is a Brahmana, his first quality is to forgive. Okay? So it depends on nature. Okay? If you are a Kshatriya, you can't forgive. Okay? So it depends on on what nature you will be acting. If you are a Brahmana, you will forgive. Simple. If you have that Brahmana means, if you have a nature of a Brahmana, you will immediately forgive and you will help that person. Okay? So it is simple answer. I can tell. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki